Amber desperately needs justice. I'm not going to give up on her. Never.
The 8-minute tragedy. The abduction of Amber Hagerman. It happened in just 8 minutes. One moment, 9-year-old Amber Hagerman was laughing, riding her bike under the Texas sun. The next, she was gone, snatched off the street in broad daylight.
I went screaming, hoping that she would hear me, that she would come home. She was gone.
A witness saw it all. The dark pickup truck, the masked horror on Amber's face as she screamed for help.
Arlington 911, what are you reporting?
Yeah, I saw a black pickup, and he grabbed a little girl and he took off toward town with her. And she hollered.
I had seen that little girl over there playing up and down there, and he run up behind her and grabbed her. He turned around and come right back to here where his truck was, where the door was open, and put her in the truck.
But before anyone could stop it, the truck disappeared, and so did Amber. 4 days later, her body was found in a creek.
And he had looked over the fence and had saw something white, looked again and noticed that it was a body.
I didn't want to believe it. It's not my little girl. I want to see my little girl.
And her killer, never caught. Who took Amber? Where was she for those 2 days before her death? And how has this case remained unsolved for nearly 3 decades? This is the story of the crime that shook a nation, the tragedy that led to the Amber Alert system, but also the mystery that still haunts us to this day. The sun hung low in the Texas sky on January 13th, 1996. It was a cool but pleasant afternoon in Arlington, a seemingly ordinary day in a quiet neighborhood. Inside her grandparents' home, 9-year-old Amber Hagerman and her little brother Ricky were brimming with energy. They had spent the morning playing, but Amber had one thing on her mind, her pink bicycle. "Stay close and be back soon," their grandmother Glenda reminded them as they raced out the door. It was a warning given out of habit, not fear. After all, this was their neighborhood, their safe place. But that safety was an illusion. Amber and Ricky pedaled down the street, laughter echoing between the rows of houses. They ended up at an abandoned Winn-Dixie parking lot, a familiar playground for local kids. They rode in circles, taking turns speeding up and skidding to a stop. It was freedom, the kind only children understand. Then Ricky got bored. "I'm going back home," he told his sister. Amber waved him off. Just a little longer. Those were some of the last words anyone heard her say. As Ricky turned the corner toward home, a shadow fell over the parking lot. A dark pickup truck, unnoticed until now, rolled forward. The man inside had been watching, waiting. Then, he moved. In one swift motion, he lunged from the truck, grabbing Amber off her bicycle. She kicked, screamed, "Let me go." But it was useless. The man was strong. He threw her into the cab of his truck and sped away. A single witness, a 78-year-old man named Jim Kevill, stood frozen in his backyard. He had seen everything: the truck, the man, Amber fighting for her life. He rushed inside and called 911. It had all happened in less than 8 minutes. By the time police arrived, Amber was gone. Her pink bicycle lay abandoned on the pavement, its front wheel still spinning. Jim Kevill, shaken but determined, gave his statement. It was a dark pickup, short wheelbase. The man looked Hispanic or white, in his 20s or 30s. He just grabbed her and took off. There were no security cameras, no license plate number, no other witnesses. Amber's family, overwhelmed with terror, pleaded on local news stations for her safe return. Flyers with her face were plastered across town. Law enforcement scoured Arlington and beyond, checking every lead, knocking on every door. But Amber had vanished into thin air. Then, 4 days later, came the call no parent should ever have to receive. A man walking his dog along a secluded creek behind an apartment complex stopped abruptly. Something was in the water, something small. It was Amber. Her body was found partially submerged. Her throat had been slashed. She was naked except for a single sock. The medical examiner determined she had been alive for at least 2 days after her abduction. Her killer had held her captive for 48 hours before ending her life. The city of Arlington fell silent with grief. The airwaves, once filled with pleas for Amber's safe return, were now filled with sorrow. A candlelight vigil was held. Strangers wept for a little girl they had never met. But the nightmare wasn't over. Because Amber's killer had disappeared just as quickly as she had. Despite national coverage, thousands of tips, and extensive investigations, the case hit a dead end. The dark pickup truck was never found. No physical evidence, no fingerprints, no DNA was left behind. Someone, somewhere, had seen something, but no one came forward. For years, detectives followed leads that went nowhere. They theorized that Amber's abduction was random, an act of opportunity. But others believed it was premeditated, that her killer had been watching her long before that fateful day. Some theories suggest that Amber may have been targeted by a predator who had seen her before.
Be the guy next door. It is our belief that he has intimate knowledge of where she was taken. He either lived or worked in that area, and where she was found, because it was not an easy place to put a child.
Possibly in the neighborhood or even at a local store. A few witnesses claimed they had seen a suspicious man lurking near the area in the days leading up to her disappearance, but these reports led nowhere. Then there was the chilling detail. If Amber had been alive for 2 days, where had she been held? Did someone see her? Did she cry for help? How did her killer manage to keep her hidden in a busy city like Arlington? In interviews, her mother, Donna Williams, expressed the haunting thoughts that still plagued her. Did she ask for me? Did she wonder why I wasn't there? One theory suggests that her killer may have left town immediately after the crime, avoiding any local suspicion. If that were the case, he could have blended into another city, another state, never to be found. And one question still lingers. How did no one else see a little girl held captive for 2 days? Though Amber's case remains unsolved, her name lives on in a way no one could have foreseen. Months after her murder, a Texas mother named Diana Simone had an idea. She asked, "If we can interrupt TV and radio for weather alerts, why can't we do the same for child abductions?" That question led to action. Law enforcement, broadcasters, and lawmakers worked together to create a real-time alert system for kidnapped children. They named it after Amber. The Amber Alert was born. By 2002, President George W. Bush signed it into law as a national system. Today, Amber Alerts have helped recover over 1,100 missing children. Many of them, including high-profile cases like Elizabeth Smart, were found alive because of a message that flashed across screens and airwaves. Amber Hagerman didn't get an Amber Alert, but because of her, thousands of children have been saved. It has been nearly 3 decades, and Amber's murderer has never been caught. Her family still waits for answers. If you know anything at all, about what happened to Amber Hagerman, contact the Arlington Police Department or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The smallest detail could be the key to unlocking this case. And maybe, just maybe, Amber's family can finally get the justice they have waited so long for. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, stay cautious and remain vigilant.